Hello everyone, welcome to Crypto Morning, Thursday, October 17th, 2024. The ECB today will be the key event of the day. Finally, we'll see some action. What I like about these meetings is markets usually move up or down, you never know. No surprises expected, rates should be cut by 0.25. The interesting part will be the speech. Will she continue this trend? This would actually be the third rate cut. Then we'll check out a barrage of stats, about 38 throughout the day, I think. But today the spotlight's on Christine Lagarde and the ECB for once. The USA won't be the center of attention. I was a bit concerned about the usual coins. For years when Bitcoin soars, the same coins give us crazy multipliers. I'm intrigued by long-term payment solutions, not AI or RWA. They coined pay fee for infrastructure blockchains like DeFi. It's all about payment systems. This has potential as Bitcoin needs a payment layer. Bitcoin requires an overlay payment system. That's why I'm bullish on layer 2 and payment systems. I invest a bit in Alchemy Pay, my top pick in this area. So it's like a layer 2, not exactly, but a blockchain that can be used as a payment system. Behind it, we can integrate any crypto. There's a huge business opportunity here. And now a new term, pay fee. This is good news for Ethereum, which doesn't get much good news lately. The number of validators has jumped 30% in a year, which is great for decentralization. It's working well, with the total stake remaining constant, no hype, just steady. Finally, after months of silence, some good news for Polygon Matic when we were losing hope. The number of validators is also exploding, so things are actually going very well. We talked about Dogecoin. It made a beautiful candle. Dogecoin is great because there are different schools of meme coins. There's Bonk for Solana, Shiba Inu, and PP for Ethereum as ERC20 tokens. Dogecoin is almost Bitcoin's meme coin. It's a fork of Bitcoin with 3 changed parameters. I forget if it's block size or transactions per second, but you change a few things. That's Dogecoin. It's very much inspired by Bitcoin. It's the oldest, and like Polkadot, Polygon, Atom, will it return this bull market? Dogecoins from the last cycle, I think it'll surprise us again. Ton chose Accelar for its layer 0. I'm a bit disappointed. Honestly, I'd have liked a small announcement of CKB Nervos Network or maybe Atom to spice things up. But they chose Accelar to connect to 68 blockchains. Accelar's doing well as they're already linked to 68 chains. It's one of the newest layer 0s, yet it's growing fast. In El Salvador, 90% don't use Bitcoin for transactions. At first glance, that seems like a bad stat. I see the glass half full. 10% of Salvadorans use Bitcoin. And remember, for El Salvador, it's like they're new investors who joined at the worst time, October 2021 or higher. They've only seen a bear market. So for them, Bitcoin feels almost like a curse. If we look at Bitcoin's year 0 in El Salvador, I think a poll in a year will show radically different numbers. Then there's RWA, which I find to be the big disappointment of recent weeks. Many of us naturally are questioning this. We always thought AI and RWA were the two big sectors. I find even AI disappointing. GPU renders and such are dropping significantly, Tau's catching up a bit despite issues, but RWA shows no performance. However, what's important, and what I like about RWA and DeFi in general, is that RWA is essentially DeFi. It's a good marketable term, but DeFi already means decentralized finance. We're already in this space, just compare the TVLs. At some point, even in crypto sectors with uncertainty, we return to financial ratios, especially in these areas. Particularly in these sectors. Look at Hondo. Since April, markets keep falling, but Hondo's TVL went from 200 to 649. That's over 7 months. We've had 70% months and such. Consider a small project I like. I'm fond of Maple among smaller projects worth 143 million, roughly equal to its TVL, which is similar. It exploded in July. It was stable, then boom, it took off in July. Another project I love called RSR is just insane. They've 10x ED, their TVL, now about 20 million. And look, same thing. February, March, markets start crashing, but there's a total disconnect between exploding RWA project TVLs and prices that are scraping the bottom. But I think at some point all these tokens will benefit from it. Next, this is very impressive. It's a brand new report from just last week. There are 617 million cryptocurrency owners worldwide, and 60 million, about 10%, are active monthly. So these are enormous numbers. 600 million, if I'm not mistaken, is Europe plus the US. So we're talking about really massive volumes, soon 1 billion. It's steadily growing in terms of adoption. This is interesting. It's what's happening in Russia now. You know, Russia is a country with enormous gas and oil resources, but it has even more unexploited, especially in the north. There are huge deposits not even tapped because there's already so much. We could almost say the resources are truly enormous. And when it comes to mining, it's the ideal country. Plus, in the north, it's cold, really cold. You stick a straw in the ground and oil flows out. It's cold, so cooling mining machines is easy. It's a big mining country, easily traceable. Everything in Bitcoin mining is tracked. Good news, Russia might clarify its stance on mining. I think it's a perfect country for mining. We'll see what's said. Next week I'll do a special report. The next BRICS summit will happen in 15 years. Ironically, a week before the US elections. I think the schedule is set in Russia, presided over by Russia. It's likely planned before the US presidential election, and there will be announcements. CPT reporters will be there covering 1 or 2 stories. We'll see what interesting topics come up. The market's really mixed. Let's check the top 100 again. We're at mid-audit. Crazy, right? Let's look at the chart. Volumes are still great, even if stagnant. We're seeing green candles on green candles. 17 billion on Ethereum, 2006, not bad. Let's check it out. For Bitcoin, who's directing and producing this series? That was scary, but it ended up not too bad. Same thing the day before. It hurt, but ended on a green candle. Another weird wick, but it ends on a green candle. As long as it makes these small green candles, it might take 3 weeks at this rate, small green candles, but you can see we're close. So people who now say, well, I think we might have an ATH soon, aren't being very bold. That's not a very brave prediction, in my opinion. If we explode, it will change dimensions. We're all eager for it to happen as soon as possible. We'll need some patience, though. We're approaching an ultimate level. Last time it reversed quickly. Look, we wicked and made a red candle. It turned around during the day. We keep trying. It doesn't seem to have made this pattern before. Green candle held, reversed, green, reversed, green, reversed, green, reversed. Straight to red. It touched and reversed the same day. There's a lot of hope in this candle. Doge Suite, a bit like Bitcoin. It's not earned yet. It's trying to match its old precedent. Bitcoin has completely exploded it. Dogecoin, to validate it, validates this, and it also explodes its Stacks is a bit laborious, but I find that the trend is very positive here as it is on Bitcoin. Look at the positive trend. Go explode us the MM200 along the range that we switch a little. XRP is very laborious, but the trend was announced for me. It goes to 0.62, and BNB, it's been a very long time. Look here, it's been very high above 620. We're arriving in areas. It's been a very long time since we've arrived on BNB. And finally, I wanted to finish with Flux. Flux on the Flux. Even Fluxians don't talk about Flux anymore. It's quite crazy. And wow, calm flat. But I find that this pattern is a very positive pattern because it sold, it tried to resist, it sold, it resisted, and yet it doesn't hold up to much. But here we did 0.38. Here we did 0.48. That's more lower and higher. So from the plural, there's already one. It doesn't hold up to much. Sometimes I think there are great opportunities. When it starts farting, it will quickly fart. That will be all for me. I wish you a good day. I'll tell you very soon. Ciao, everyone.